All right. Good evening. Let's get started. I guess we are live. Cool. Thank you for watching the VODs. Be sure to hit subscribe. Please do that. We've got like 6,000 people in Discord, but I think we've got like 5,000 on the mailing list. And then the least intrusive thing that provides the biggest benefit, I think, because I like when shit's recommended to me on YouTube. So the biggest benefit would be YouTube, I think. Subscribing there. Costs you nothing. Go ahead and do it. I'm only badgering you because I'm going to see the number get bigger. I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas and New Year, or whatever it is that you do. Ours was pretty relaxing. Went down, hung out with the in-laws, and then after that, just spent the rest of the time just chilling out, reading, playing some video game. Not games, just game. Hey, Pattis. What's up, Petrus? What am I doing in here? I just had a weird thing happen, I swear. I wonder if I can recreate it. So I tried to log in with this character. He timed out on the way in. Tried again, timed out on the way in. Switched to a brand new character that I logged in yesterday with. And then this guy loaded in. But it's not the guy I had selected. Hey, Quixana. M. Shagara said, just started gaming. You can't stream. I'm terrible at multitasking. Yeah, that's a conundrum, huh? Hey, Maylist. Chaz Solo. You can always watch the VOD. I feel tired. Let's go to the end while we're hanging out. Guess you'll watch and complain about not being able to play a null yet? You could do that. Who else is expecting twins any day now? Just you? Malis, congratulations. You got any other kids, or is this the first? Hey, two twirls. Ah, cool. All right. Well, awesome. We got some practice. Coding caffeine. Yeah, it's 2024. We made it. What's up, Rev Chumley? Sarenth. Happy New Year. Eater says, not sure how I feel about the lamp on the waist. Maybe hooked to the backpack would look more appealing. Can't figure it out. I wouldn't be shocked if at some point you've got both options. Hey Dragon, what's up? Let's go look at a couple things. I don't know if they're in here yet. Okay. Well, this is a curiosity. What's up with this guy? And that guy. These guys are not doing what they're supposed to do. Interesting. Hey, Opith. Maylist, I wasn't 100% sure what I was going to be working on beyond looking at some stuff. What's up, Nick? Nick said, man's trying to find a place to take a whiz. Apparently, they're on a pee break. So, those of you that are not familiar with these guys, there's 3 of them. They pass 3 different places. One goes to the basement. One used to go out this door to head towards the market, and the other one would come out this door, would not pause though, and then head this way. AI is already rebelling, yeah. And then he's just randomly over here. Alright, we're gonna reload this zone and pick one and follow it, and then see if this is a consistent issue. Tutrell said, wanted to say I had fun on the playtest since I haven't caught a stream since then. I'm glad you had fun. Hey, Remez. Hope everybody had a wonderful, wonderful New Year and a safe New Year. She asks, I'm curious from an amateur coder perspective, how hard would it be to do generative AI learning on actual NPCs? Like each time they are killed by players, they learn a bit more. I am not a programmer, nor am I an AI expert. I guess the question that I would have is, what are they trying to learn? Or what are you trying to get them to learn? Hey Goblin, what's going on? Thanks for holding it down. Goblin's been continuing to stream. Tutrell said, you saw me and my friend on your playtest stream. We are Pain and Panic. Oh, nice. I remember you guys. Basically learning how players deal with them, then they form countermeasures against it. I would assume one, it's fairly doable. I'm not sure how enjoyable it would be for the player necessarily. All right, so these guys have just started again. This guy, I think, is unable to pass through here, and thus is picking a new route. Not sure why that guy paused there. Ollie's been doing some stuff with navigation, and I think I'm going to run around and see how much more of this kind of shit is happening. But yeah, I don't know where they left off. At one point in like when was it? 2016, somewhere around then, I interviewed with a company called DeepMind in London. DeepMind. And at the time, I think that was AlphaGo was still like a fairly recent thing for them. But then they started training it on more and more, like training it on more and more game types. Like they had it playing StarCraft and some other games. Yeah, Alpha Star was what they're calling it. Yeah, smart AI isn't necessarily fun to play against. Goblin mentioned there's a cool Doom 30 anniversary with both Johns, and they mentioned how smart AI isn't necessarily fun to play against. We actually ran into that a little bit in when working on DC Universe Online. So we had much more complex AI during development than we shipped with. So my friend Andre and I worked on this together. And essentially, I had seen a white paper from Jeff Orkin. I don't know if that's true. Is that? Where did we arrive at that? Let's just say it this way. The two of us wound up spending a lot of time discussing Jeff Orkin's white paper on GOAP, Goal-Oriented Action Planning. And we basically all right, so this is, we basically were working to employ GOAP, which would allow the NPCs to respond in a much more dynamic manner, because they're essentially weighing their options and trying to pick the best means of resolving that particular problem, whatever that problem set they're in is composed of. And the white paper, I believe, referenced primarily fear. So the AI in fear was considered pretty cool. You know, if you put something in front of the door, then the AI would come through the window, that type of thing. And it would pick which weapons were available. Oh, that's really kind of fucky. Yeah, so you know, and maybe they would pick a weapon that's available based off of, all right, well, you know, if there is a weight of, like, I'm just gonna make something up, like this knife is very powerful, but there's no way for me to reach the player, and then there's a less powerful but ranged weapon, then I would, you know, the AI would pick the ranged weapon. AI people out there, programmers, feel free to call me out if I'm describing it wrong. But anyway, so we went down that route, exploring the use of GOAP, and maybe, you know, our own sort of modified version of GOAP, which I think there's a Transformers game that uses a modified version of GOAP that's actually supposed to be pretty good. That came after it. There's a whole videos on like GOAP and Game AI. Yeah, naturally there's videos on Game AI, but so anyways, we used that because the other thing that we were doing was, instead of just spawning NPCs, we were spawning encounters. And so in a city, we would have different points, just like spawn points, where we knew what type of encounter could fit in there, right? Because it might be an armor car with some guards and a couple criminals and maybe a money bag on the ground. And so our system essentially looked at picking random encounters based on what could fit in the various areas that, you know, that you were at, and it would pick it to be level appropriate based off of not necessarily who you were. It wasn't necessarily just scaling for you, but it was scaling based off of who was using the zone the most, with some outliers and randomization based off of like players that are outliers that are moving through, etc. Because one of the things that we had originally been asked to kind of look at is, since we were making Gotham and Metropolis for the first time in an MMO, how do we make sure that those zones don't get outdated, right? You know, so we've got this, it's kind of like Night Harbor. We've got this badass zone that we've invested a lot into. How do we ensure that there's always a reason to be there no matter what level you are? And we wanted those moments to, moments to exist where you come in and your low-level players, and but you come in, you're low level players, but then there's an opportunity for these high level players to do some real like Superman shit, right? And for you to see like a Superman Lex Luthor encounter where maybe there's all typically lower level encounters, right? So we were looking at the director system from Left 4 Dead. We were looking at, as Goblin stated here, GOAP or goal oriented action planning for the AI. And then we looked at, found Crackdown to be pretty inspirational as well in terms of like movement and behavior. And the main thing that I felt was lacking with Crackdown when it came out, because it was fun from a visceral standpoint, but there was no content in the game, it seemed like. And then the thing with spawning encounters meant that we could have multiple objectives in an encounter, and since it was physics-based action combat, the armored car could potentially be picked up and thrown, right? The money bag could get hit by the car when it's being thrown, and the money bag could go toppling down the street, or somebody using an ability could cause it to go flying down the street, or the briefcase or whatever. And we would spawn in these encounters that would also have like a PvP, sort of inherent PvP component, which is like there's villains, there's robbers, there's the security guard, the armor car, there's the briefcase or the money bag. And each one would also have timers, completion timers, right? And so it's just kind of like a little timer on there for each action. And so the other thing, because we were also building an inherently PvP game, it was, we had it so that if you looked at the security guard and you were a villain, you would see an objective of knock them out, right? The little knockout icon. If you were a hero and you looked at that security guard, you would see a protect icon, and vice versa. And when you did knock out a security guard or a villain, then a timer would come up that would be faster. That was to secure them, right? So the first objective is knock them out. The second objective is secure them. And there's like animations for them being handcuffed or bound or whatever. And the money bag or the briefcase or whatever would also have a timer, because thought it would be interesting to create a hero's dilemma where you would have multiple timers going off. You got to choose which of these objectives do I complete. And it was a very dynamic environment, right? Because, you know, with these guys using their like more complex AI, the security guard may be running for cover while shooting at the robber or whatever. The robber, depending on what robber it is, may have an explosive versus a gun versus whatever. Maybe they're a villain, like a super villain, and so they use an ability and that would knock shit around, and right. So it was super dynamic. Everything was very, very dynamic, and so it wasn't fun. It wasn't predictable enough to be fun. It is just so dynamic, and that's one of the things that I think when I see a lot of people over the years trying to fix certain problems, a lot of the solutions are might be viewed as better because it's removing something like predictability or tedium. But Maylist, it wasn't that it was information overload. It was that there wasn't a rhythm, right? And so we were playing, when we were first starting the project, we were playing a lot of like P99, first TLPs and then P99. And one of the things that we found was like, still some of the best times I can think of in the last like 5 years, in my recent memory, 5 years, I even go back like beyond that, 7 years, right? So even since I first moved to Germany, some of my most relaxing, most enjoyable like evenings that I can think of were evenings spent just sitting at a camp, grinding XP or waiting for a rare, with like sitting there with Nick or whoever I was playing with. But there were a lot of those nights where like early on where, you know, Nick and I would be duoing or we'd get a little group together or whatever, and we were just like grinding. And that's where it was this really, it was a moment that really reinforced what we loved about the old design, or at least reinforced for me. And, you know, don't always want to speak for Nick or Ali or other folks, but like, it really hit home, like that meditative sense of, I'm just in here. I feel a sense of mastery. Something could fuck up. And so then all of a sudden, oh, we got to pay attention. Oh, someone trained us, right? Like, you know, or, oh, you know, I wasn't paying attention. I was out of mana, or, oh, weird spawn, right? Any of those things was just enough to make it like, oh shit moment, or inevitably, the gameplay adapted to the environment. So it's like, oh, there's not as many people here. Let's pull more than we would usually pull at this camp. Or, hey, we don't have the perfect group composition. So, but let's try it anyway. Right. And the simple context of the old style of game design, right? The sit and grind, sit and, you know, at a camp and farm, or sit and basically keep pulling the slot machine handle waiting for the rare or for that rare drop off of a mob. All of the other just sort of simple components of the game made it really interesting and engaging despite the simplicity, right? The fact that you can get trained, the fact that shit happens, the fact that sometimes pathing is weird, or hey, you don't have the ideal group composition, but you do need a few people to be able to maintain this camp. Like, those things provide, for me, it's enough, man. I've been playing, over the holidays, I've been playing some Embers Adrift. I'm not very far into the game. I tend to be a pretty slow player. You know what? Before I get into this, let me look at what you're saying here. Shay said, my main goal is to become an actual NPC intelligence coder, so this interests me, even if it's considered bad on fun. Well, I mean, yeah, if you're just interested in the general topic, there's philosophy and there's a broad range of things, right? There's not just one perfect path. Saren says, reminds me of the old Final Fantasy XI camping days for either XP grind or H&M camping. H&M camping. What is H&M? Miss those days. Were you strictly Final Fantasy XI? Because we've got an interesting mix of people right now. We've got EQA folks, EQ folks, Final Fantasy XI folks, people that have heard about these older games but haven't played them. Hyper notorious monsters. I fucking love that. That's great. Ooh, I need to update the stream info at some point to let people know that I'm probably going to be cursing more. Does it say 18 or whatever? I don't know. My New Year's resolution is to just talk normally, which involves a little more cursing than I usually do. Hyper notorious monsters. I wonder if I knew that term back then. It feels new to me. So pathing, just generally speaking in here, looks a little wonky. So I wonder if Ollie's aware of it. I got one of those little taste buds that swollen, I just noticed. Anyways, where I was heading with... Where was I heading before I went down? Let me scroll back up and see what comment I answered so I can get back on path mentally. Hey, Keebs. Happy New Year. I am doing really well. Oh, Embers Adrift. Thank you, Remes. So I tend to be a pretty slow player. I am not hyper efficient because I chill, right? Like, it's a way to relax. So I'm probably only like, I don't know. I played. I'm probably only like 20 hours into the game. I think I'm like level 9 or 10 maybe. And for the most part, it does hit that just kind of nice sit there and grind kind of feel. Been in a few groups and that's been enjoyable. So it's a game that I would definitely, for folks that like the older style game, I'd definitely check it out. If you haven't checked it out, I think it is well worth checking it out. We're making pretty different games. So don't worry, I'm not saying you shouldn't like, oh, you don't love us anymore. You're gonna see some stuff in the update. But I figured it's gonna get a little spoiled here, but it'll be a nicer presentation update. If you look, this is a building that you're probably familiar with texture-wise. This is maybe where you've seen we had some textures go in for the playtest where you'd start to see a little more texturing, right? And then here you can see an example of where we're heading. So what we've been deploying here in terms of texture blending and stuff, you're going to now start to see in our structures as well. Waldo said those cloak physics are nice. Well, thank you. DDJ, what's going on? Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Yeah, it was cool, it was relaxing. Coding Caffeine says the real promise I see in M&M is that we can learn from previous games' mistakes and lean into things we love. That's the beautiful thing about it. We don't have to have anything set in stone during development. Yeah, though, I mean, we have not shied away from saying, hey, these are our lines in the sand. These are, you know, we're setting a number of things in stone with the understanding that we can always chisel it back out if we need to. But, and I say that mainly so that people realize, like, sometimes people see stuff they don't agree with or they don't like and are like, oh, well, you know, it's still early. They'll change that. No, it's very possible we won't. Time set 7, 8 a.m. So yeah, things are starting to get a little bit purtier. Oh yeah, this one doesn't have collision. Crap. All right. I forgot about that. That's not the one that... Where's Ollie's house? Ollie has started on player housing. Ollie has a house in town already. Excuse me. Oh my gosh, my hand being jacked up. I am now starting to learn just how much I rely on my pinky to know if my fingers are on the right keys. So I do some wonky stuff sometimes with auto run and stuff right now. Goblin says ambient occlusion built into the building along with curvature map that touches the edges so they pop a bit more. With applied trim sheets. Yes. And we'll look at that and then you'll see a better still sort of side by side in the update. The update will go out this weekend. Ambient occlusion sounds like a prog rock band. Ambient occlusion sounds like a band from at least within the last 5 years. Mila says, I was just watching a talk about a roguelike dev who had a bunch of constraints imposed on him in developing his game and how that helped him make a tighter game. Yes, constraints are so helpful. All right, so again, looking from the outside, let me fly. Cool. Okay, I was about to say I'm a GM. I should be able to open all doors. Interior. You know, Goblin, I don't know if you realize this, but ever since you posted that one video from Chip the Ripper, anytime we say, like, not anytime, I would say most times we say interior in our house, Jasmine or I will go interior crocodile alligator. Just constantly now. So ignore the volumetric light shining here. This looks like my room furniture and all. Senor. Is it Senior Angus or Senor? Is it, or does that just depend on where you're at in the world at the time? Senior Angus. All right, cool. Yeah, this was my apartment style when I lived in Stockholm before Jasmine moved in. How will player housing work exactly? Will it be instanced? It will not be instanced. It will be finite in its availability, as controversial as that may sound, and it is in the world. So a lot of what you're looking at in Night Harbor with these doors is blocked out to be player housing. What about squatters' rights? You've got to pay the man, and the man is us. Got to pay the man for... You never own the property outright. You'll always pay us rent. And we'll probably even microtransaction your ass with in-game currency. We were just talking about that with, like... You know, if you own a shop, should it cost you more rent to have a sign? Or a certain sign size, or a certain sign color. Yeah, so trim sheets are in effect. Texture blending is in effect. Goblin. There's so much green and yellow. What if you tax scale with how nice someone's shop looked? Tax scale? I think scaling taxes would be good. Because if there's anything people love, it's a intricate tax system. And I'm not being facetious. From our end, I think finding different ways to scale the tax is probably a smart idea. Hey, Esam, what's going on, dude? Happy New Year. Increase the tax for a number of properties they own. I don't know if we're going to let you own more than one property. But we might. Infarish, hello. So yeah, a question Ali just had yesterday. He was just asking was like, should people be able to see players' stuff when they look in the window? So that's the degree to which we are keeping it in the world. New subgame in M&M become a real estate magnet in Night Harbor? Potentially. Will there be sheriff's auctions for homes that don't pay their taxes? I don't know that. Like we have no reason to sell anything at a lower price. I think that might. I think that's you'll see some. I think it's all this building. But you'll see some... Yeah, we got a bunch of images, but I think it's all this building. If you have a tax system, make sure there's a way to evade taxes and kill politicians who raise them. Then we've got to get a political system in. Just don't let players from other games buy housing and rent it out to players in our game. I'm looking at you, Canada. I think, yeah. We'll keep an eye on that type of predatory behavior. If someone places a box close to a window, could you reach into it? Keebs asked. I'm gonna assume no. And it's where's Ollie's place? I thought it was somewhere around here, but I think it may just be local, to be honest. I think Ollie's place is probably all just local. We've got volumes that we're going to be using to, like right now, if I were to go into, find a way into Ollie's housing without his authorization, the second I go in, it's gonna boot me to a spot. I was telling Ollie it would be funny to, because it's all volume driven and we can do all sorts of interesting shit. I thought it would be funny to add security systems. Like you could purchase like a spell effect. So maybe it's a teleport to a really bad spot, or it lights the person on fire, or poisons them. And so it'll, if you enter the volume without permission, different weird shit can happen to you depending on how much they paid for their security system. But yeah, you shouldn't, good grief, Griff, you shouldn't be able to hide stealth and do home invasions. Ollie's a big UO fan, so. Zarkin says, what about Yakuza type protection fees? We haven't thought about that yet. Certain neighborhoods, you got to pay your rent to us, and then there's also NPCs that just come around and will beat you up if you don't pay them as well. I mean, we do want to put housing in some bad neighborhoods. Dog pets for security. Dog pets that pretend they're security, but security's already handled, but the dog doesn't need to know that, I guess. But pets in your apartment definitely seems like a... Uh-oh, we got one of these guys. When that happens in the past, it's typically been a object or asset that's got some weird setting. And it will all, like, if I remember correctly, it's, you could find it by basically seeing, triangulating where your screen goes black. Totally dumb question, but did we figure out that pathing issue? No, but I do know that Ollie's been making a lot of changes to navigation, and it looks like there's some hinkiness going on. I saw some weird stuff the other day, and he said he pushed a fix, but now it's... So... Let me shoot him a message. Let me post for Ollie. I'm in game now, and noticing a lot of NPCs going on wonky routes for their go-tos. Is that known? Hey, Numbly fans. Security cats. You know there's an intruder when your cat is hiding. It's like my dog. Where is my chat? You're in it. What do you mean? At the bottom of the screen? Oh, it's not showing at the bottom of the screen. Why is that? Yes, I'm watching. Refresh. Okay, say something. Say something silly, I guess. Yeah, well, it's still not showing. Why is it not showing? Okay. Well, we'll see if it pumps back up. If not, then I'll pop over to Streamlabs and try to figure out why. Why it's not doing its job. Can we put a spike pit in the house and put a carpet over it? That may, let's just say that'll probably be, that's an expansion feature. Hey, Stonelistic. Let me see if I can fix this. Opeth says, question for you, Sean. Like with the finite housing, what are your thoughts on truly unique items? We've actually got them listed. They may be on our roadmap. If not, they're in our documentation. So we're going to play around with controversial, truly unique items that always come with they're kind of a monkey's paw. Right, they always come with conditions. So it's kind of like the One Ring. They always expect something of you, and if you don't keep up with it, then it will just find a new owner. So we're gonna play around with them. I think we called those specifically artifacts. There may only be one, there may only be 5. Shit like that. Booty clap. Goblin said, get consent of a friend you murdered and lock them in your house. I don't know if that's as sneaky as just getting the consent of a friend that was murdered and then doing it. Like if you just murdered them, they may know that something's up. Yeah, you said something else earlier, Goblin. Yeah, guild housing that's hyper expensive. Yep. And it kind of hits on what Dragon was saying as well. Yeah, so the price of different houses will vary based on their location, utility, size, or just random whim. There may be quest criteria. I'd really like to have certain housing that you can only get the ability to rent after potentially certain things are done, or you've met certain criteria. right? There may be, like, if there's a decrepit inn out on the countryside, then it may require you to actually do something before you can then take over the deed on it. Let's see. Oh, it says mixed bag on player appreciation. That's for sure. I love the thought. I know not everyone does. Yeah, but you know what? We'll always err on the side of what we think is cool. And if what we think is cool frustrates a few people, then that's fine. That's to be expected.
Hail, it is I, the Wonk Master. Please explain the Wonk Wonk.
What's up, Ollie? Ollie's such a hacker that he's still able to maintain a subscription, despite me no longer being an affiliate. And yeah, to your point, yeah, a lot of the reason why the artifacts will have those conditions is so they don't just sit on somebody's account. Keeb says, kill 1,000 wolves a week or the stag will vanish from your pocket. Yeah, that kind of thing. Easy enough, right? Artifact that requires you to run around without pants. That sort of thing as well, Shay. Wizard needs a magical ward for his tower that teleports intruders horizontally outside, like gravity did to rest. Yeah, I was thinking about that, Sagner. That type of thing. Ollie, NPCs are being weird. Is that you down there? I just sent you a message on Slack, Ollie, if you're still listening. Like the idea of having those artifact variables with housing as well? Absolutely. Yeah, Ollie is somehow he is subbed forever, Nick. He is a subscription master. Are we going to have a naming policy for guilds? Yes. We're going to have a naming policy for everything. The degree to which that naming policy is super comprehensible or considered fair, we'll see. But it will definitely hinge on what we think is stupid. If someone's getting a little too frisky or whatever, then we're definitely gonna. Yeah, my arms are definitely in a weird position. Ollie said, what did you see? Send me on Slack. Well, people are just pathing all over the place. They're just pathing weird, man. Watch. Oh, let me also look in. I'm gonna switch over and load up the data so that we can guarantee nothing's weird in data. Water is so delicious. Are you just feeling water particularly hard right now in general, or did you just do some physical activities? Oh. Okay. Interesting. So, Ollie, look at these guys. Well, I'm curious what's going on with those go-tos, but these guys are not no longer on a go-to. That's kind of wonky. And they're just like pausing and shit. They must need to pee? That's exactly what Nick said. What is this guy doing, Ollie? How much can he possibly pee? Why is he over here? Why is he randomly stopping? Maybe a dumb question? There's never a dumb question. Oh, that's a lie. Sometimes there's dumb questions, but we'll let you know kindly. Greg Mike or Greg Mick says, how far into development will it be before items in inventory have a graphic versus all generic? Just curious. We'll kind of see what our bandwidth looks like this year. Goblin's been doing those. So we've got a couple little test cases and stuff. But Goblin is often spread pretty thin. So that hasn't been a priority. Greg says, okay, thank you. Number one game I'm hyped for. Keep up the great work. That is super awesome of you to say. It always gets me excited when I hear that. Yeah, so. Ollie, look, that Watchman, also not on a path. But yeah, I've got the feeling you'll probably see more going on with our UI this year. Can you check where the go-tos are in relation to the ground? Ollie asked. They appear to be just above the ground, a couple of them. Others, they're not under and they're not super above. This one's looking a little sus. Save. Stone UI, please. There are a lot of Stone UI fans on the team. In my dream, I don't want to speak for everybody's dreams on the team, but it would be cool if there were multiple options where you could kind of pick what you're into. Normally fans said brick walls are looking nice. If you missed it earlier, here's the latest. You'll see more of this in the update. But we're now taking the texture blending that we've got on the ground and we're starting to Starting to get frisky. Trim sheets, texture blending, ambient occlusion. What else did Goblin say earlier? Some curvature nonsense. So look at how that looks right now. Minus the volumes in the background. So if you look, it's starting to look a little bit better than it did when it was just like, oops, where's an example? Like this? Yeah. What's up, comrade? Ollie said he just pushed a possible fix. But it did it look like it was actually something wonky? Because before the holidays, I had just checked these guys and fixed a completely different bug. That was like a bug. Now let me look at these paths. Okay, yeah, so that's right. We've got one guy. He waits. The first guy goes this way. This path is actually someone else's path, if I had to guess. I'm fairly certain that this path belongs to... Yep, Noel. Look like wonky go-tos. That's a pretty scary idea if that's true, because none of this stuff where NPCs are just wandering into random ass shit has changed in quite a while. I think go-to positions that are not exactly on a nav mesh aren't supported with the new nav mesh, then that's a problem. We got to support that. Otherwise, we're going to have guys running around all over the place. Or we need the tool to know where the nav mesh is and like fix them. Oh, you pushed it. Okay, that's what you're saying. Okay, cool. I was like, oh, that's not good. Otherwise, we've added we'll just make it a marketing bullet. New dynamic AI. And Farish said, "Told you they're becoming sentient." Yes, it's the new. We're using machine learning algorithms to imbue our Web3 NPCs with AI. You hear that? People with big fat cash. This Watchman is clearly confused. I'll take MMO or metaverse is just code for bad MMO. Interesting take, Ollie. Aramisk. What's going on? I mean, the fact that we've got 90 million daily active users in Roblox and that's still just, it just feels like it's just a game. It's just a game platform. Will the AI go grab a bunch more mobs if they are too low level to take you out? No. Yeah, I guess it's better to generalize it as a content platform. So Aramisk, no, they currently don't do that. What they will do is some of them will flee, and then that may incidentally get more NPCs looped into the conflict. Ollie, will that fix happen during tonight's stream, you think? Or is it something I need to pull? Should take about an hour. Okay. Cool. Well, I can stop worrying about it then. But dude, look, they're all being pretty wacky. I was telling people about your player housing, Ollie. Is that all local? Dragon, I don't know where we landed on gray mobs dropping loot. That's my inclination, Ollie. I think so. Why would they not? Yeah, because it feels weird when it doesn't. But I couldn't remember if the three of us have talked about it. If Nick's out there, you can let us know if we are not all in agreement on that one. Dude's just pathing like... Ollie said his apartment is here, but he doesn't know if he's copied over the data for it yet. I just pulled. Probably should have hopped out and then hopped back in. How is the pinky? It's pretty jacked. It's really starting to, like, this is if I align the first joint with the other fingers, it contorts that bad. I think that, what is that called? The proximal. There's proximal, medial, whatever at the end. Anyways, so yeah, I'm gonna look. We're gonna check because I've got to go in for a consult, like the pre-surgery consult for my shoulder, next Wednesday. So we're gonna ask. Basically, while we're at the hospital, we're gonna pop over and go back to the hand section and see if they can find an earlier surgery date for my pinky, because my pinky is supposed to be the end of next month. My shoulder is end of this month. Distal, that's what it is. Thank you, Darius. And it's just it's so contorted now. Like, it, you know, I can feel it most of the time. And I'll put the splint on for a while to like keep it straight. But then it starts to get sore from being straightened out. Hope you get it all mended soon. Oh, yeah, before the holiday. You probably didn't hear it. Before the holiday I mentioned. So I have shoulder surgery at the end of this month, and then at the end of the next month, into February, I'm actually going to get the medial and distal appendages amputated, and I'll just keep the proximal. And then there's a pretty dope little prosthetic that I'm trying to get that basically it straps around your wrist, goes over the hand like this, and then it's got titanium bars that then basically allow you to have normal sort of mechanical function on it. What did I do? I ripped this tendon. I ripped the tendon on the underside of my hand. I broke off this knuckle, and while it was healing, this finger just kept getting sore, and I guess the pressure from it not moving enough, like not being used, then just snapped what was already probably a damaged tendons on the underside. Should put a flashlight into the prosthetic or a thumb drive. Yes. Toothbrush. Yep. Definitely. We're going to get all the attachments. Hey, Sparrow. Little thumb drive attachment. Confetti cannon I think would be good. Pinky drive would be good. Little back massager, like your mom keeps in the drawer. All that. Happy New Year, Verdict. Stonelist, I appreciate that. Thank you. They have 3D printers now. The world is your oyster. Yes. Mini leaf blower. I think the power source would be the... and it goes a straw up through. And just... Somebody said, Chunky said shoulder surgery sucks. Had that 2 times working on number 3. So Jasmine's mom just had last year had a similar shoulder surgery to what I'm getting. They basically just have to go in and shave some bone off of my collarbone. I think the underside, they've got to shave out bone so that the muscle or whatever there will stop rubbing against it. So it's just supposed to be like 3 scope, 3 holes, go in, chop. So I'm hoping recovery is going to be pretty good. What I'm trying to do is really push from now all the way up until the day of surgery. I'm going to lift like 5 days a week in the hopes that I'm kind of at a point where once I get surgery and then I'm recovering, I'm in as okay a shape as I can be with it. And then immediately get into physio and then see how quickly I can get back into lifting. But it's going to suck because it's going to be like surgery, hopefully physio, finger, and then we'll see. You were out of sling in 4 days. Bad surgeon took 3.5 months. Okay, well, let's hope that these Germans know what they're doing. You use it for everything when lifting, don't even notice. Fortunately, there's enough pain over the years in the shoulder, that's why it needs to get fixed, that I'm actually I am fairly aware of how much I use it, and it is a lot. Hey, Nicodemus. I thought you were going to be out today. I'm left-handed. And that's the hand that is jacked up right now. So I've been using my right arm a lot lately. Last couple of months I've been using my right arm a lot. And then after shoulder surgery, it shouldn't impact me that much, though it kind of, it's gonna be a little iffy until maybe the end of March. I'm being optimistic. You still can't get in? Yeah, that's clearly a bug, Chunky. Daughter and I wanted to join the stream a bit. She says she can't wait until the next playtest. Oh, right on. I'll watch my language a little bit more. I was cursing up a storm earlier. Spend the extra for the BMW branded prosthetic. You do get to pick the color. Hey, Sims. I don't know if Goblin's still out there. If Goblin's out there, Ollie showed me the funny emoji that that you made. I want to use it, but I'll wait to use it until after I get the finger surgery. She's 24. She laughed. Still, I'm gonna be respectful. I'm a good Southern gentleman. Doesn't matter how old you are. You're Nicodemus's daughter. I'm gonna be polite in front of family. Make sure to pay for the heating option if you get the BMW arm prosthetic, right? Oh man, we had a rental car to go down to Cologne for the holidays, and it had heated seats. I'm such a big fan of heated seats. Ollie. Oh, Ollie's house. Yeah, so allowing you characters to name your housing. It's going to be fun when you realize that we're still like enforcing naming policies. It's all in a database, so we can easily blacklist certain words and then search for certain stuff, and then Ollie, does it work? The Crack Shack, yeah, that will definitely get changed. The old Thunderdome, that one probably be allowed. Fabik Ipu, thank you for the follow. Are you gonna let us run a shop out of your house? Eco comes to mind where you can have a merchant table in the window. Yeah. Oh, there's two doors because there's the base door and then there's the door that you're spawning. I bet, Ollie. I bet there's... Here, look. Ah, well, you know what? You know what I'm talking about. I mean, I know why there's two doors. Okay, cool. I like being pedantic. I find I'm helping. Wow, I just burglarized out of your house. Burglarized into your house. Love how everyone I talk to is still hyped and addicted from the last test. Chunky, I love it too. Did you guys see the MMO, or no, what was it? Was it massively OP, or... Where was the most anticipated game survey? So we, thank you very much guys for helping us, win the Redbeard Flynn The Redbeard Flynn Scuffed Game Awards most anticipated MMO. That was very kind of you, so that was cool. And then Massively OP, I think also had a like most anticipated MMO, and it was like the full list of everything. It was like EverQuest 3, the Dune MMO, whatever Riot's making, all these games. And then it was like, in us, you guys are pretty crazy when it comes to filling out polls. So we're last I saw, we were ahead by like an insane amount. So thank you for that. Boosh's TV, yes, that is our Discord. You should hang out with us. We're friendly. Things up to like $6,000. 6,000 people. That's pretty crazy. And people are still behaving properly, which is really nice to see. Yeah, so what I was saying to Ollie was we should just leave the ability for you to, if you're a gnome or a dwarf or whatever, you could just jump in. Now, in theory, you could buy some bars and put on your window. But I would just say get a protection spell so that as soon as somebody comes into your housing volume that's not supposed to be in there, just burst into flames. That would be hilarious, because then you'd have to, I guess you could probably get your corpse. Let's see. Oh, you can't kill yourself? Ollie, kill me. Yeah, I'm curious to see if I can drag it through the window, Chunky. Yes, you could also get shutters. What's with the door just popping out of existence there? I think that's because Ollie's messing around with this being the house spawn door. So it's being spawned by the housing system instead of the standard static system. Okay, cool. Not this far in. There's no way I can drag my corpse. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. So if I made it this far into your apartment and died. Okay. No, I don't want to consent to you. I want to see if I can get my corpse. Was there a discussion of pets in Gnome stream, Goblin stream last night? There was a discussion of pets in Goblin stream last night. Wanted to see if you're able to clarify. Will my shaman have a spirit pet like EQ shaman? Nick? Will Elron Gaming's shaman have a spirit pet? Yeah. What game show was it? I'm trying to remember how it actually worked. The answer is... yeah. Nick said, I'll put it in right now so you don't get sad. See? Elron Gaming says, I love you, Nick. I love you. I love you, Nick. Show me shaman pet. There we go. Thank you, Simon. Show me. Yeah. No, is that the one though? Because he would just be pointing at the board if it's... That's the level of service you just don't get with AAA studio. Exactly. No strings attached either. The stream needs more active players in game. Hey, Vagrant. Happy New Year. Alright, let me see. Drag corpse. Oh, I got my corpse. Okay, we're good. Feel free to restart the zone, Ollie. Oh, what if we did like the opposite of UO? Though you could probably do this in UO as well. Like if someone tries to break into your house, they come and they die, you automatically get loot rights to their corpse. But then you would probably call the hero people into your house. Like, hey man, you want to group up? 1 second, I need to just grab my car keys real quick. And summon you in. I remember when I was the GM of Talon Zek, that was a problem. The cross-teamers would have shifty mages that would get in somebody's group. Some unsuspecting person. And then call them over into the middle of an ambush. Oh man, the textures are looking so much better these days. Hey John, Vagrant, everything is going good on my end. Hopefully the same is true for you. That's why you play on Rallis and just know everyone is trying to kill you. Yep. Anytime you guys mention Rallis, I just think of I had a Ixar Necromancer on Rallis. And whenever I think of playing the Ixar Necromancer, I think of like romantic comedies. Because when I first started them, and was spending all my time nervous that someone was going to gank me and Field of Bone, I was watching... I was like on I don't know, I was just on one. Maybe it was like HBO was just playing them back to back, but I immediately think of You've Got Mail and Sleepless in Seattle. So anytime I either think of Ixar Necromancers or playing an Ixar Necromancer, or anytime I see You've Got Mail or Sleepless in Seattle, I think of the other one. They're always together. Also, that was the one with Hugh Grant, and it's Christmas time, and Chinny D says, I'd like to apologize for any mischief caused by 15-year-old me on Talon Zek back in the day. Oh, no need to apologize. Talon Zek was a blast. I loved it as a GM. I took over right after a Radial. Jeremy was GMing there, and he was super relaxed. And then I came in, and I was pretty hands-off, and that kind of threw some people, because I was like, well, whatever. If somebody on the opposing faction is training you, you have an option to deal with that. It's called kill them. Try to enter my house again, Ollie says. Okay. Yeah, I can't figure out why the chat's not showing up at the bottom of the screen. I'll get that fixed by Tuesday, probably. Ollie, did you put is this a trap? You're right, it does sound like a threat now that I reread it. And the thing is, Ollie is so perpetually smiley and happy that even if it is a trap, he's still going to say it with a big smile. Just like, I can see him, big smile. Try to enter my house now. Oh, is it? I think I know what's going to happen. Aw. The try to gives it away. It's true. Ollie, can you also make me catch on fire? Volume seemed to break over time. Interesting. I think it may just be the universe is getting out of whack. I was weighing some food earlier, and I left it on the scale, and over time it went up like 3 grams. And just for no reason. Speedrunner strat, jump through the window to walk 1 meter less. Funny. Oh. Oh, I'm not coordinated enough to be a speedrunner. Leave that up to Landon. Ollie, I'm pooping into your apartment. You can tell because my beard got really stiff. We're still getting the crouch walk in, the crouch in for every race. I don't know which races have it already set up. Human probably. It's always a safe bet. It's perfect except for there's a here. I'll hop on a different tune so we can look at it. Dominance asserted. We call it beard walking. That's hilarious. Justin Beard, what's going on, buddy? My beard don't bend for no man. These colors don't run and my beard don't bend. You have to grow out your beard again? If you do, you're gonna have to cosplay as one of these dwarves. You're gonna have to put some stiffener in there, like a whole bunch of gel or whatever. Just a lot of it. Get it super stiff, and then you're gonna have to crouch walk on camera. Hello. Hi guys. There we go, perfect. Can I make them green? Oh, look. Oh, no, that's not the music. Why didn't you loop? Silly. Into playlist. There is no end to this playlist. Looping. Goofball. YouTube. Silly. So looking, are the textures new? Yeah, so we've got some new textures in. Going into the December playtest, we cleaned up a bunch of stuff. Fairly certain that's when this stuff happened. When I don't think I'd noticed him with a beard before like that. When I saw it, the beard reminded me of Hamzat. That's not loading fast enough. It's, as soon as I saw the beard and the scars, I was like, Hamzat. If you guys are not UFC fans, then you probably don't recognize him. Used to, when I was in Stockholm, I trained at the same gym as Hamzat. Really nice guy. So let's see. Skin color. Greenish. Not green, but greenish. I mean, if he was green, then he would look like the Incredible Hulk, and that's probably no bueno. What am I playing? Just make a fighter. Strength, stamina, charisma. Select traits. Agile, alchemist, defender, fast metabolism. Ollie, did you clarify? K-Sim said, really like the art style. Night. Thank you. Khabib Ogre Gamedov. That is pretty funny. Did you clarify what's going on with the volumes? Do you know why they're breaking over time or degrading over time? It's interesting. And is it just housing volumes, or do you think all volumes are doing it? We haven't really seen anything too crazy with volumes. All volumes, really? Okay. Oops. Boom. Yeah, it's still in progress as well. Still in progress. You can Where is it, my precious? crouching tiger, hidden ogre. You look under the bed and the ogre's just crouching under there. Really flat. See you, Sparrow. All right. Ollie, was there something else that you wanted me to check out? I'm scrolling up now. J Spaceman. Happy New Year. We're excited to get you guys in here again. So, I promise you by Tuesday I will actually have my shit together again to some degree, and we'll work on some stuff. I'll figure out what we'll be working on. A lot of the stuff that I really want to work on right now is not stuff that we can work on stream, unfortunately. But there's still plenty of population work to do. There's still plenty of I mean, we can do some dungeon decorating. Let's see. The biome jam will be going on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week of January. And that'll be fun. I think as that's going on, I'll likely be showing some progress on streams. So, and what that is we're going to take the last 3 weeks of the month to apply some constraints to the approach, but basically see how many different biome variations we can knock out in that time period through limited use of new textures. So we'll be creating new textures and some new objects, and then seeing how well we can convey a new biome. Because like if you look here, we do a pretty good job of conveying desert, right? We've got some trees, we've got some sand, we've got some nice blending going on. We've got some textures that sort of fit the theme. And then the additional props that Bilth has made. So then the question is, all right, by taking the textures that we have and doing minor variations to them and creating some new textures, and same thing with props, how quickly can we express a new theme? So whether that be swamp or jungle or Arctic frozen tundra kind of setup, temperate forest, savanna, lava, a lot of like deep, underground shit. So we want to see how quickly we can kind of get those looks together during that three week period. Like, do we only get 1 done? Do we get 10 done? And what that'll allow us to do is then look at our roadmap for this year and look at essentially our general approach that we want to take moving forward. So, because environments will be one of the longer legs in development for us. So that'll be coming up starting, I guess that starts next week. No shit. Let me look at the calendar again. Because this week's already... Yeah, it starts next week. So, that means tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, put together, I think, some test scenes for that. The team has been good and they've cheated and started already experimenting with stuff. Appreciate that. Because we committed that we would do it in that time frame, but it's always nice when people cheat and start working ahead. You're not cheating, you're not trying. Chunky said, do you know the loading screen with the dwarves and stuff under the bridge? You need a hunched over ogre with them. we'll Photoshop them in. Ishuitari, wie geht's? Gutes Rutsch? Fröhliche Weihnachten? Where was Ollie's house again? The beard biome. Everything's just made of like loose beard hair. Oh my god, I just disgusted myself thinking about it. Justin, I just thought of a biome composed completely of the stuff that gets caught in the drain, and it just made my mouth water. I want to throw up. Oh, no worries, Nick. Goblin baby is you? I would have never guessed. Jesus, troll paradise. Food in the beard biome isn't the best. It is flannel. Swanee, where have you been? I've been rocking this flannel. You know how I am. Wear the same outfit every day. The Inner Space movie with Dennis Quaid, but a beard. Oh man. A zone, we make a zone where you're just like exploring through the chest hair of a Titan. How much undying love do I have to offer you to get possibility of a Dragonkin race? That's going to be a tough one. Dragonkin will be so far down the list. Oh. I don't... you know what? I'm not going to say it. I'm going to be kind. I would just say everyone has their own preferences. And I am not a preferencer of Dragonkin. Me personally, but I mean, you know. Alright, who was asking about the wolf spirit earlier? Ghost Shader isn't working yet on jackals. I mean wolves. Yeah. It's not a jackal, it's a wolf. We'll just push its snout in a little bit. Just push its snout to about here. I'll get in the blender. I'll fix this one up. We won't even have to bother Zukin. What is your overall goals for minimum shippable product? I would say we would need to have some goals off the top of my head. Also, wolves don't have chests. Do they not? What? How do wolves not have chests? No, we talk philosophically about the MVP. But it's not necessarily going to be a very helpful answer to you if you're like looking for a checklist. We need to have enough content that people won't run out of shit to do before we get more content out. So there needs to be a reasonable amount of content available. And we need to be at a point where the max level range that we decide on is fully supported. All of the other MVP features, right? All of the core systems are in, all of the core content, etc. Sorry, content types are represented. But we need to have enough content to retain players, and we need to have enough space to create a good enough world sense. We need to have probably, and this is a maybe, enough space to provide adequate player distribution without us then having to have like 50 servers that immediately collapse down to look up pictures of wolves. So that's what I mean by it's not helpful mail list. It's not answering your question a lot, but and then if you look at our roadmap that we posted, our deconstruction, you'll see. No, that was helpful. Okay, cool. There's their chest right there, buddy. There's a little wolf chest. Also, the chest comes all the way in our household. The chest... No, the chest is right here. The neck is right there. Rooney. Come here, Wolf. Wolf. Mini Wolf. See, his chest is right here. That's his chest. See you, Nick. What did you slack me, Ollie? You said show it. He's a doggo, though. Shh. You're a wolf, buddy. Don't listen to Ollie. Sometimes Ollie lies. I don't see any conclusive anything in the images you sent, Ollie. What species is Rune? Rune is an Alaskan Kleekai. Except he's not from Alaska, he's from Moscow. What did you post in Discord, Ollie? His chest is right there. That is a picture of his chest. Right there. I mean, it's not big, but he's, you know. That's not a neck. His neck starts right here, dude. Ollie's smoking on the job again. Ollie's been growing that wacky tobacco. Tobacco loco. That's not that's nowhere near anywhere near legal in your part of the world, is it, Ollie? So my little puppy, he's actually much smaller than he looks on camera, like, so look at my hand relative to his head. He only weighs 8 kilos. The breed of dogs? Alaskan Kleekai. K-L-E-E-K-A-I. Kilo, Lima, Echo, Echo. Alright, so server reset. Or if you just look up Mini Husky, usually that'll do it. Server restarted, yes. This guy is actually my second one. When I first started streaming, I had a different Alaskan Kleekai named Ziggy. Unfortunately, he is not with us anymore. But now, this little turd is. Oh my god, he's warm. That's a good thing, buddy. Oh, okay. Goodbye. Dude, they are fucking fur monsters. We do nothing but sweep up dog fur all year long. It may be too hot for him where you're at, Ollie, but Ziggy did really well in Austin when I lived there. He loved it. He would go outside and just lay in the sun and pant, and then come back into air conditioning. He loved it. Okay, cool. Jasmine's on her way home now. Mailist, see ya. Yeah, tonight I'm gonna actually keep it relatively short tonight. Just because I feel bad, like I'm not really being anything resembling productive tonight. But I wanted to make sure I got a stream in this week because I promised you, and we are still. My wife's just started a new job on Tuesday. Brand new job, and I knew it was going to be a bit stressful for her. So Tuesday night, instead of streaming, I was like, you know what? Probably better to see how her day went and hang out with her, and then stream tonight, and then next Tuesday it will be a little bit more normal. And we're going to be getting into some fun stuff. Like I was saying, there's a lot of stuff that we're going to be doing behind the scenes in preparation for this year that we're not going to share a lot of, unfortunately. There's lore stuff, there's world building stuff. We've got a nice I don't want to like just qualify, right? Since that might sound weird, but we've got a map that we'll be hammering on and kind of looking at what approach we want to take to working towards sort of release direction, and you'll hear more about that as the year progresses. There's a strong likelihood after this month, after we do the biome jam and get a feel for kind of what all we can pull off. Check out the pathing wonkiness. Okay, let's do that. See if it's better now. You'll likely start seeing some areas that look like something other than desert this year. Did you just summon me? Converter said Eminem just makes me so happy. You know what? That's exciting. That makes me happy. Yeah, Ollie, this guy's not on the right path. Yeah, you guys have been really, really supportive and really, really nice this year. It's been great, and you've been a very supportive in a very sort of wholesome kind of way. You've been a very supportive community. So I'm not articulating that well, but it's been cool. We can tell that a lot of you are genuinely into it, which gives us a lot of inspiration to work on stuff. So, Mantis Boxer, thank you. Things run at you slowly too? Uh-oh. Invuln. Did you see that, Ollie? She like ran away a little bit and then... Yeah, there's definitely some wonky stuff going on. Ollie said, I'm going to have to rewrite navigation again, huh? Ooh, I hate to say it, dude, but it kind of looks that way. Converter said my buddies are hooked on following everything about this game. That is so rad to hear. Commander, yeah, if you haven't seen the old EQ interviews, I mean, I wouldn't want to listen to me for that long, but if you can kind of like throttle me out a little bit and listen to the guests, there are some really cool guests. I'm going to be doing an interview. I think they realize it's going to be recorded and put up on YouTube. It's going to be streamed and put up on YouTube. Yeah, I'm going to be doing a interview with the Embers Adrift folks this month. Maybe even as soon as sometime next week. I got to get with them again and talk to them. But yeah, I'm very curious. Similar, I did an interview along the lines of the EQ interviews. For those of you that haven't seen them, the EQ interviews can be found here. And I did one with the Defend the Night, that crew. And so I'm excited to... I was like, did I do any other games? Just always talk to the Eco guys. I don't think I've done an interview. But the Embers folks, I'm excited to talk to them, just kind of see what their experience has been like. If you were here at the beginning of the stream, I was mentioning that over the holiday I played for a bit. And I'm having a really enjoyable time in Embers. It's clearly a different game than what we're making, but it's still got the things I enjoy about this type of game. Yeah, so some navigation wonkiness. So when he said coming to Germany for a month in March, I'll have to make an actual effort to make it to your neck of the woods this time for lunch or something. Yeah, let me know when you're in the area. That'll be cool. Mantis says our game community from the old games was built on morals and respect, so we all understand we never want to get banned. Keep the worlds nice for people. Oh, that's an interesting point. That was something we mentioned during the playtest, was like if somebody does some shit that gets them banned during these playtests that we have in advance, we're gonna maintain a list of those individuals' information. If people start shit during the playtests, or or just disruptive in the community or whatever, then we're just gonna do our best to remove them from the community indefinitely. If we happen to visit Freeport, Maine, it'll let you know so we can go to McDonald's. Dude, if I am anywhere within 2 or 3 states of Maine, I'm gonna come by and hang out with you. Is it too late to clean up their act? Asking for definitely not me. No, you've been fine. The signpost was updated. We've got some new prompts in. We've got new signs in and stuff if you weren't here for the play test. Are we going to do 2-3 strike rule depending on... Yeah, there'll be strikes depending on the seriousness. So like if you're this person from the playtest, then I mean that could probably just be a strike. if you're this asshole. I pulled that image up way too quickly. Hey, Zillis. I have it in my folder. I have it in the monthly update folder. Now the name was fine. He was just being an asshole. Wouldn't that be? That would be too much. If he actually had a different name, but he was misbehaving, so we named him asshole. That would be us setting a bad standard. Maybe he was role-playing? Well, he's going to be role-playing as somebody that can't access the server in the future. He's going to be role-playing an exiled player. Nick already loves the troll player base. Oh, yeah. I sit there and just giggle. I'll read the stuff that's going on in Discord and just laugh and laugh. Alright, guys. I know it's a bit early. I've only streamed for 2 hours today, and it is still fairly early, but I'm gonna get ready to sort of wrap up here, and then actually get some stuff together for us to work on Tuesday, so that so it's not just me totally just goofing off in here. But I wanted to hop in today and just catch up with folks and wish everybody a happy new year. And thank you for being here. And then kick off 2024. We got a lot of stuff coming up. We've got the update coming out this weekend. So keep an eye out for that. If you're not on the mailing list, here, you should join the mailing list. No info on upcoming playtests yet, but I mean, guys, we enjoy having you here in playing as much as you enjoy being in, but we want to make sure that we're not getting too crazy with it. Swanee, see ya, buddy. Normally fans, see ya. Have a good night. Infardish. See ya. Hell's Ridge. Zarkin. Goodbye. Coverter and friends who love us. Thank you for loving us and have a great day. McAren, Happy New Year to you as well. See ya, Ali. See ya, Nicodemus. Dozakar. Thanks for being here. I'm glad you enjoyed the pupper. White Bandit. See you, buddy. John, take care. Pessimistic Squid. I'll take a look when I get out of here, Justin Beard. Rediker, gute Nacht. Oder schönes Tag. Ich weiß nicht genau, wo du bist. Stonelistic. Hopefully I'll see you around next week. Lame. You're not a lame Tama. You're a tame Nova. Shit. See you. Goodbye. See you, Chinny D. Chunky. Dragon. Yeah, I don't even know where it's like a. What would a lame Tova even be? Alright, so tomorrow I'll piece together, we'll get the update wrapped up, we'll get that out to you the weekend. I've given you the mailing list link again. A Tova with an injured leg. We'll have to put Tovas in the game. Cool. Alright, guys. I think that's it for Happy New Year's and good nights and all that stuff. So I will see you on Tuesday. Have a wonderful weekend. Thanks again for being here, both today and in general. And yeah, it's going to get fun. I'm excited to see what happens this month with the biome stuff. It'll be interesting because the crew is already on one. They're already starting to do some cool shit. So, all right. See ya, Esan and DDJ. Take care. I'm going to push the button now, and I'll see you guys on Tuesday.